You may take the appearance of everyday fruit and veggies for granted, but did you know they haven't always looked like they currently do? Through selective breeding, humans have been molding fruits and vegetables to our liking, changing the way they look drastically over the years. Here are 10 fruits and veggies that looked very different before we started cultivating them. Number 10. Corn. The evolution of corn is a great example of how we can significantly change a vegetable over time. Corn actually comes from a Mexican grass called tisenti. The barely edible tisenti is small, skinny, and it has very few kernels. Back then, these kernels were also hard to reach since they were encased by a hard shell. To peel it, you had to hit it with a hard object several times. It's also speculated that it had a very dry taste, like a raw potato. The link between corn and tisenti wasn't very easy to find, actually. For many years, nobody knew where corn came from since it doesn't look like anything that grows in the wild. It was only after finding several similar chromosomes between the two that this link was determined. One scientist even managed to pop a tisenti kernel. The cultivation of tisenti to modern-day corn came about as, for each subsequent harvest, we selective bred the more desirable tisenti plants that had larger and more rows of kernels. This led to corn we know today, which is easy to peel and 1,000 times larger. Modern corn also contains 4 times more sugar compared to the natural old version of corn. Number 9. Avocado. The millennials' favorite fruit has gone through quite a lot of change, and it's all for the better. In the wild, avocados are very small and can easily fit into the center of your palm, growing to about 3 inches in diameter. The pit of the wild avocado takes almost all the space inside the fruit, leaving little room for the fruit's famous green flesh. Roughly speaking, it would take close to 10 wild avocados to get the same amount of flesh that you would get with a single modern version of the fruit. Worse yet, the little flesh that it has doesn't taste very good. It has a rougher, grittier quality, in contrast to the creamy and tasty characteristic of the modern avocado. The wild avocado was also encased in a hard shell, quite different from the leathery, fleshy kind of skin that the current avocado has. Thankfully, our ancestors improved the fruit in significant ways, selectively breeding it, allowing us to have this tasty fruit that goes so well on toast. Number 8. Peach. The peach is another example of our ancestors using selective breeding to create a bigger and tastier version of a fruit. Domesticated by the Chinese around 4000 BC, the original peach was very small and resembled a cherry. It had a waxy skin and only 64% of edible flesh. It also had a taste that was described as earthly, sweet, sour, and slightly salty, similar to a lentil. Also, a big amount of the wild peach was occupied by the fruit stone, close to 34%. After thousands of years, farmers got to the version of the peach we have today. The current modern peach has soft, edible skin and is 64 times larger. It also has 90% of edible flesh, a vast increase from the wild peach. The stone in the current peach has also dramatically decreased in size, making up for only 10% of the fruit. The current peach is also 27% juicier and tastes 4% sweeter. All around, the peach has just gotten better through the ages. Number 7. Eggplant. The wild variation of the eggplant is completely unrecognizable from the modern version we have today. Eggplants used to come in a variety of shapes, but most of them were round. In fact, the name eggplant actually comes from the fact that they were often white and round, hence looking like an egg that grows from a plant. They had a range of different colors like yellow, white, and even blue. Some of the earliest versions of the eggplant also had spines that connected to its flower. It's believed that the domestication of the eggplant started in places like China, India, and Thailand. They were initially used only for medicinal reasons because the wild eggplant had a bitter aftertaste. Through selective breeding, we arrived at the modern eggplant with its purple color and oblong shape. The spine has disappeared, giving way to its stem that connects to its flower. Better yet, the eggplant is now edible and really delicious. Number 6. Strawberry. Oftentimes, as shown in this video, humans molded fruits and vegetables to make them taste better. However, the opposite happened in the case of the wild strawberry. Known as Fragaria vesca, the wild strawberry actually tasted sweeter and is considered the better version of the fruit. However, the wild strawberry is much smaller than its modern version. So, why did the modern version of the strawberry lose its flavor? Reportedly, that's because other factors started coming into play, influencing how these fruits evolved. Farmers started favoring size, resistance to disease, and a better and bigger appearance, which ended up decreasing the taste of the fruit. The modern strawberry actually started to take shape when a French spy brought the Chilean version of the strawberry over to France. This variation of the fruit was significantly bigger than the ones grown in Europe at the time. The two species of strawberry were crossed and gave rise to the modern strawberry of today.